It's Elhamdadu Sanapur. Can you hear us?
Yes, hello.
Well, we see that you are recovering now. Could you describe for us, was there anything going on in Camp Ashraf that would have threatened the people of Iraq to the point that it would have justified an army coming into the camp?
Camp Ashraf is a residential area where 3,400 Iranians, just like myself, live. We've been in Camp Ashraf for 25 years. We've had a long time history of friends with the Iraqi people. It's a residential area with school, with a mosque. It's a residential area where people live. It's not a threat to the Iraqi army at all.
And could you describe for us what you personally saw during this attack?
It was about 7 in the morning when I heard gunshots, explosions. I went to one of the main streets and I suddenly saw Iraqi forces who had entered Camp Ashraf by force. They had entered with their tanks, their Humvees. They had snipers, grenade launchers, and Iraqi forces came in and started shooting. I personally, I was there. I asked them, "What are you doing? Why are you here?" And it was then that I was targeted by Iraqi man who threw a grenade, which exploded between my legs. It destroyed the muscles in both of my legs, as you saw in the video prior to I'm speaking. It destroyed the muscles in my arms. Right now, my left arm, the nerves and tendon is destroyed, is damaged. My right arm, the muscles were torn apart. Right now, my left wrist is broken, also a part of my hand. My right elbow is also broken. And these are the shells, parts of the shells that was taken out from my legs and arms due to the grenade explosion. During the attack, Iraqi forces specifically would target one of the civilians. For example, he would say, "Look over there," and shoot. We were defenseless. We had no arms. We had nothing. We had defenseless. They opened fire and killed 36 Ashraf residents and wounded hundreds.
Oh, did you see anyone in the camp at any time with weapons shooting at the soldiers?
No, from our Ashraf, no.
Yes.
We had no arms.
So you had no weapons whatsoever,
no.
And when the soldiers came into Camp Ashraf, they had armored vehicles. Is that correct?
The Iraqi forces came in with armored vehicles and were fully equipped. As
if they were fighting a other military unit, but instead they were up against unarmed civilians.
Yes, exactly.
Mr. Carnahan, do you have any questions to ask our briefer today? Yes, just right there.
Hi, this is Congressman Carnahan, and thank you for speaking with us today, and we hope your wounds heal up, and thank you for sharing your story and the story of the residents at the camp. It's important that we get to the bottom of what happened there. Can you tell me, prior to this incident, had there been other violence at the camp?
Yes. First of all, I thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of the 3,400 Camp Ashraf residents, specifically the 1,000 there. It's a great honor. Yes, from 2009, since the Iraqi forces took over Ashraf's protection, violence from the Iraqi forces started. We had a previous attack in 2009 where 11 people were killed, also hundreds wounded. From the time that UNAMI stepped out of Ashraf, the Iraqi forces openly attacked us, and it continued until the last attack. And right up until now, there's no guarantee that they won't do another attack. They won't carry out another attack against us.
One last question. Can you tell us that earlier attack and the most recent attack, can you give us your best assessment of what set those attacks off?
Well, first, I'm sure you know that Khamenei, the Iranian regime's supreme leader, signed an agreement with Maliki as to close up Ashraf and to annihilate Ashraf residents. I can say that's the best thing. That's the best thing that I could say. But the Iraqi army, under the command of Maliki, carried out this attack.
Thank you very much.
We have with us a noted judge from Texas who is a member of this committee now and a member of Congress, and he has presided over many criminal trials, and would like to hear perhaps his questions for you at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Nada. Appreciate the opportunity to ask you a couple of questions. I'm Ted Poe from Texas. Let me ask you, first of all, the 36 that were murdered. We heard reports that rather than complying with appropriate burial procedures, it took many days, maybe weeks, before permission was granted to bury the 36 that were murdered by the Iraqi forces. Can you shed some light on the burial, and were those burials permitted to be done according to procedures that you follow, or were they hampered by the Iraqi government?
Yes, we have a cemetery that is located in the northern part of the camp. Right now, that's the part where the Iraqi forces in their attack took the cemetery. And the Iraqi government prohibited us from burying the 36 who were killed in this attack for over, I think, a month and a half. They didn't allow us, they didn't agree with us to bury them. They delayed giving. They delayed giving us the bodies, and just didn't allow us to bury the dead in our own cemetery.
And do you know why?
I think it was just another order under Maliki's government. Perhaps they were, I don't know, they wanted the land under the pretext of having the land. I don't know.
I have one more question. The Iraqi government wants Camp Ashraf moved to another location. The Iranian government probably does as well. What would happen to the safety to the residents of Camp Ashraf if you were moved to some other location in Iraq?
Well, first of all, it's illegal for the Iraqi government to want such a thing, because under international law we cannot be transferred, expelled or displaced to any other location, either inside Iraq or outside Iraq, against our own will.